Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you said something to a woman that made her light up, that made her feel truly seen and appreciated? I'm talking about the kind of compliment that made her look at you with admiration, respect, and maybe even a spark of attraction. If you can't recall that moment, or if you find yourself relying on the same old tired lines, then stay with me here. In today's video, I'm going to share 6 powerful compliments that will make you unforgettable to women. These aren't your typical compliments. These are emotional triggers, words that reach deep into her heart and soul. When used the right way, they'll leave her speechless and thinking about you long after the conversation ends. Here's the reality. Most guys miss the mark when it comes to compliments. They'll say things like, "You look nice," or "I love your dress," which, let's be honest, are fine, but they're just scratching the surface. The issue, she's heard those words 1,000 times before. They're not memorable. They're just noise. So what's the secret to standing out? The answer lies in understanding that women want more than surface-level attention. They want to feel understood, valued, and seen in a way that speaks to who they truly are. When you take the time to recognize what makes her unique, you're doing something most guys don't bother to do. You're offering her something far more valuable than compliments on her looks. You're showing her that she's worth more than a fleeting comment on her appearance. This idea of truly seeing the essence of someone, of looking beyond the surface, is something the Stoics understood deeply. They didn't get caught up in superficial judgments. They focused on what truly mattered. So when you compliment her on more than just her physical beauty, you're doing the same thing. You're connecting with her on a much deeper, more meaningful level, and trust me, this will leave a lasting impression. But before we dive into these powerful compliments, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you're ready to transform how you handle relationships. With every video, you'll take a step closer to mastering the art of connection and building stronger, more meaningful bonds. Now, let's get started. The first compliment I want to share is one that might seem simple at first, but trust me, it carries a powerful punch. You have such a unique way of seeing the world. Now, I know what you're thinking. It sounds simple, right? But the impact behind this compliment is anything but simple. It's not just about the words themselves, but what they represent. When you say this to a woman, you're not just acknowledging her appearance or the way she dresses. You're telling her, without a doubt, that you value her mind, her perspective. You're letting her know that you see the depth in her thoughts, her experiences, and the way she views life. And here's the thing, we all want to feel like our opinions matter. We want to feel like our perspective on the world is something of value, especially when it comes to something as intimate and personal as the way we see things. Women, like everyone else, want to feel like they're appreciated for more than just their looks. They want to be acknowledged for their intelligence, insight, and the way they process the world. So, the next time she opens up about something, whether it's a book she's been reading, a movie that changed her life, or an opinion on a topic you're both discussing, pause for a moment. Don't just nod along and change the subject. Instead, take a second to really absorb what she's saying. And then, hit her with a compliment like this. "Wow, that's such a unique way to look at it. I hadn't thought of it that way." When you do this, you're not just handing her a generic compliment. You're showing her that you see her as someone who's worth listening to, someone whose thoughts matter. You're not just saying, "You're pretty," or "I like your dress." You're telling her that you admire her for who she is as a person, not just her exterior. And let me tell you, that hits differently. Now let's bring in a little Stoic wisdom here. The Stoics taught us to focus on what we can control. And part of that control is how we interact with others. You can't control how someone thinks or feels, but you can control how you respond to them. A Stoic would tell you that it's our duty to show up in our relationships with appreciation, acknowledging the true essence of others. By offering a compliment that goes beyond surface-level praise, you're not just recognizing her beauty, you're recognizing her soul, her character. You're practicing wisdom and virtue by seeing beyond appearances and truly valuing the depth of another person. So, when you're trying to stand out and make a real impact, don't rely on tired generic lines like, "You look beautiful," or "I like your hair." Take it a step further and notice the qualities that truly make her, her. Compliment her mind, her perspective, the way she sees the world. And trust me, when you do this, you'll leave an unforgettable impression. Let's move on to the second compliment that will truly leave an impact. There's something about your energy that's so captivating. Now, this one, it's a game changer. Why? Because it's not about what she looks like or what she's wearing. It's about something deeper. It's about the vibe she gives off. That invisible but incredibly powerful energy that seems to light up the entire room as soon as she walks in. You know that feeling when someone enters a space and suddenly everything feels a little warmer, a little more alive. That's her energy at work. And when you point it out, you're doing something amazing. You're telling her, "I see you. I see something in you that most people miss." Here's the truth. Every woman has a unique energy. It's not just the way she walks or talks. It's the way she makes others feel without even trying. It's the calm presence that puts people at ease, or the infectious enthusiasm that lifts the entire group. Maybe she has a quiet strength that makes everyone feel safe, or maybe her laughter fills the room with light. Whatever it is, recognizing this energy shows that you see her for who she really is, not just for her looks, but for what makes her her. And here's the kicker. This kind of compliment is rare. Not many people take the time to notice the subtle, magnetic force someone brings into a space. But when you do, you're not just offering a compliment, you're acknowledging something that is uniquely hers. Picture this. You're at a party or a social gathering, and there she is, standing across the room. Instead of focusing on the usual things, her outfit, her smile, you're paying attention to how effortlessly she makes everyone around her feel at ease. Maybe she's the one who immediately breaks the ice with a joke that has everyone laughing. Or maybe she's the quiet force that calms a chaotic conversation. And then you say, "You know, there's something about your energy that's so captivating. You just have this way of making everything feel so right." When you speak from a place of authenticity and really mean it, she's going to feel that recognition deep inside. It won't just be a compliment, it'll be a true acknowledgement of the energy she brings into every space. Now, let's bring in a little Stoic wisdom, because there's a deeper layer here. The Stoics, particularly thinkers like Marcus Aurelius and Seneca, taught that true wisdom comes from seeing the world and the people in it with clarity. They believed in recognizing the essence of things, not being distracted by the surface-level details. When you compliment her on her energy, you're doing just that. You're not just appreciating her outward appearance. You're acknowledging something much deeper, the essence of who she is, the way her very presence shifts the atmosphere around her. You're seeing her as she truly is, without the distractions of how she looks or what she's wearing. In the same way, Stoicism encourages us to act with virtue and wisdom in all our interactions. This compliment shows that you're not just reacting to what's in front of you. You're paying attention to the unseen, to the subtleties that most people miss. And here's where the beauty of Stoicism shines through. By practicing mindfulness, by truly noticing the people you interact with, you're showing respect, not just for them, but for yourself too. You're choosing to communicate in a way that matters, offering something meaningful rather than just a superficial comment. You're embodying the kind of virtue that the Stoics so deeply valued. So, when you say, "Your energy is captivating," you're doing more than just complimenting her. You're seeing her essence. You're appreciating the deep, real qualities that make her who she is, and that's what will make the connection between you both even stronger. That's the kind of recognition we all crave, the kind that goes beyond the surface and connects us on a much deeper level. And when you do this, you're not just deepening your bond with her, you're practicing something much more profound: mindfulness, true appreciation, and the wisdom to see people for who they truly are. Let's dive into compliment number 3. You're so passionate about what you do. It's inspiring. Passion is one of those rare qualities that not only makes someone magnetic, it makes them unforgettable. There's something about seeing someone completely immersed in what they love, their eyes lighting up, their voice brimming with energy. And when you recognize that fire in her, when you acknowledge her passion, it's not just about the work itself, it's about who she is at her core. You're not just admiring her effort, you're celebrating the drive that fuels her. Think about that moment when she starts talking about something she cares about deeply. A creative project, a cause she believes in, or a dream she's chasing. You can see it in her. She comes alive in a way that is so rare and beautiful. Imagine this. She's telling you about a project that's been consuming her lately, her words coming faster as she describes her vision. Maybe it's a cause that's been close to her heart for years, or a passion project that she's been working on tirelessly. And instead of simply saying, "That's cool," you look her in the eyes and say, "You're so passionate about what you do." It's honestly inspiring. When you say that, you're doing something powerful. You're telling her that you see more than just the task at hand. You're acknowledging her commitment, the energy, and the heart she puts into everything she does. It's not just about what she's doing. It's about the why behind it. And that kind of recognition is unforgettable. Passion is one of those things that touches our deepest sense of purpose. When you compliment her on her passion, you're recognizing her drive, her ambition, and the hours of hard work she's put in. You're saying, "I see your character. I see your values." You're showing that you appreciate the part of her that pushes forward, even when the world doesn't notice the sweat and effort. And here's where Stoicism really ties in beautifully. The Stoics believed in living with purpose, embracing effort, and finding meaning in everything we do. Whether the task is big or small, they taught us that it's the integrity and intention behind our actions that truly matter. When you recognize her passion, you're reflecting those very principles. You're acknowledging that her actions are driven by something deeper, something virtuous. Think of it this way. You're not just offering a compliment in that moment. You're giving her something even more meaningful. You're giving her the recognition she deserves for the things that truly matter to her, her values, her dedication, her purpose. It's not about the outcome. It's about the journey. And when you compliment her passion, you're showing that you're invested in her, in what makes her tick, what motivates her, what inspires her to keep moving forward. That's the kind of recognition that creates a connection that's built on something real. And this isn't just about making her feel good in the moment. It's about appreciating something far beyond the surface. It's about honoring the passion that fuels her day to day. When you show her that you value this side of her, you're building a connection that goes beyond small talk or shallow compliments. You're creating space for something deeper to form. And trust me, that's what makes you unforgettable. Before we jump to the next compliment, I'd love to hear from you. What's the most powerful compliment you've ever given or received? Drop a comment below, and let's get the conversation going. I'm curious about what compliments have had the most impact on you. Now, let's get back into it. Compliment number 4. You make everyone around you feel so comfortable. This one is pure gold. Why? Because it taps into something incredibly meaningful. How she makes others feel. Think about any social gathering you've been to. There's always that one person who just has this effortless ability to connect with everyone. They make sure no one feels left out. They create a safe space where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued. And when you notice that in her, when you take a moment to appreciate her natural ability to put people at ease, that's powerful. Picture this. You're at a party or a gathering with a mix of familiar faces and strangers. Some people are shy, others are standing off to the side, not sure how to jump into conversations. But then there's her. She walks in, and immediately, the energy in the room shifts. She's the one who brings the quiet ones into the conversation, who cracks a joke that gets everyone laughing, who makes everyone feel like they belong. You watch her glide through the room, effortlessly making everyone feel comfortable, relaxed, and engaged. And when you notice that, don't let it go unspoken. Take a moment to say, "I love how you make everyone feel comfortable." It's such a special gift. This compliment is so much more than just a compliment. It's a recognition of her emotional intelligence, her kindness, and her ability to create a space where people feel safe. You're not just noticing what she's doing, you're acknowledging the care, the intention, and the energy behind it. You're telling her, "I see you. I see the way you move through the world with such a calming, inviting presence." And trust me, that recognition, it makes a huge impact. It's not something that's said often, so when you do say it, it will stick. This is where the Stoic mindset truly shines. The Stoics, the ancient philosophers who emphasized living virtuously, understood that the foundation of a fulfilling life isn't just about external achievements. It's about the inner qualities we nurture, the relationships we cultivate, and how we treat others. Kindness, empathy, and compassion were at the heart of their teachings. They believed that our connections with people, the way we make them feel, the way we bring warmth and understanding into their lives, are what define the richness of our existence. And when you recognize her ability to make others feel at ease, you're honoring these timeless Stoic values. You're acknowledging her emotional intelligence, the quiet strength that lies in how she makes others feel welcome, seen, and valued. This is rooted in a deep understanding of human connection, and it speaks volumes about her character. You see, strength doesn't always have to be loud or forceful. In a world that often equates power with assertiveness and dominance, the quiet strength of someone who makes others feel safe and comfortable is even more profound. Think about it. It's easy to overlook, but it's the women who quietly create spaces where people can be their authentic selves who have the greatest impact. Their ability to diffuse tension, to bridge gaps, to make strangers into friends. This is a different kind of strength. And when you take the time to notice and highlight that, you're not just complimenting her actions, you're recognizing the emotional intelligence that powers those actions. You're celebrating the intangible qualities that make her extraordinary. Imagine being at an event or gathering. The room is filled with chatter, but it's her, the one who seems to move through the crowd effortlessly, putting everyone at ease, making shy people laugh, drawing the quiet ones into the conversation. It's like magic. She's the one who brings a sense of calm and belonging to any space, simply by being herself. And when you see that, when you notice how she creates comfort, in even the most awkward situations. Don't let that go unsaid. Let her know, "I love how you make everyone feel comfortable. It's such a special gift." This isn't just a compliment. It's an acknowledgement of something truly rare and valuable. You're not just recognizing her actions. You're seeing her for the depth of her character, her kindness, and her ability to bring people together. And trust me, she'll remember it. It'll make her feel truly seen and appreciated for the things that really matter. Now let's move on to something even rarer in today's world: authenticity. Compliment number 5. I love how authentic you are. Authenticity is a rare gem in a world that's obsessed with perfection. Social media, filters, and the constant pressure to present a perfect version of ourselves have made it harder than ever to just be who we are. But when you come across someone who is unapologetically herself, someone who isn't trying to conform, who doesn't put on a mask or hide behind a persona, that's a breath of fresh air. That's magnetic. And when you notice this in her, when you recognize how she embraces her quirks, her sense of humor, her raw honesty, that's when you can really make her feel seen. Picture this. You're having a conversation, and she's just herself. There's no pretension, no self-editing, no trying to impress. Maybe she cracks a joke that's offbeat, or shares something personal without fear of judgment. There's a sense of comfort and freedom in how she expresses herself, because she doesn't feel the need to hide behind anyone else's expectations. It's the kind of confidence that doesn't try to be noticed, yet it stands out in a room full of people trying to fit in. And when you recognize that, when you acknowledge her ability to be real in a world full of filters, it's not just a compliment, it's a profound statement of admiration. You're telling her, I see you. I see the strength it takes to be yourself in a world that constantly tries to make you something else. That's not just about behavior. It's about the courage to stand firm in your own skin, to be real, to not apologize for being who you are. In a world full of polished facades, that authenticity is a rare treasure. And trust me, when you call attention to it, you're doing something powerful. You're affirming her self-confidence and showing her that you value her not just for the surface-level traits, but for everything that makes her unique and genuine. And here's where Stoicism beautifully aligns. Figures like Marcus Aurelius and Epictetus taught us that true virtue lies in embracing who we truly are, our strengths, our flaws, our humanity, and not hiding behind facades or pretending to be someone we're not. They knew that by accepting ourselves and others as we truly are, without the pressure to constantly improve in the eyes of society, we find true freedom. Stoicism teaches us that the path to peace and virtue lies in authenticity. So when you recognize her authenticity, when you celebrate the way she embraces herself without fear or apology, you're aligning yourself with these Stoic principles of virtue and wisdom. Think about it like this. In a world where so many people wear masks, someone who is truly authentic is like a breath of fresh air in a polluted room. When you notice and celebrate her authenticity, you're not just complimenting her, you're honoring her bravery to stand out and be unapologetically herself. That's the kind of recognition that leaves a lasting impact. So, the next time she does or says something that's uniquely her, something that shows her true colors, let her know how much you admire it. It's one of the most genuine compliments you can give, and it will resonate with her for a long time to come. After all, in a world of masks and filters, authenticity is the real treasure. Compliment number 6. You have this way of making everything feel more exciting. This is not just a throwaway line. It's a profound recognition of the energy and spirit she brings into every room. Think about it. There's something magnetic about the way she can take any moment, no matter how ordinary, and transform it into something unforgettable. It could be a quiet evening at home that suddenly feels like an adventure because of the way she speaks with such passion, or the sparkle in her eyes as she shares a story. Maybe it's the way her laugh is so infectious that it lightens up the entire atmosphere, making everyone around her feel at ease and full of joy. When you give her this compliment, you're acknowledging that her presence doesn't just fill the space, it elevates the energy and creates a ripple effect that touches everyone in the room. Think back to a time when you were just going through the motions of a normal day, and then she did something, or said something, that completely shifted the vibe. Maybe she added a bit of humor to a dull conversation, or she brought a spark of enthusiasm to a routine task, and suddenly, everything felt more vibrant and alive. That's the power of her presence. And when you take a moment to tell her, "You have this way of making everything feel more exciting," you're not just offering a compliment, you're showing her that her impact on the world around her isn't something you take for granted. You're acknowledging that the way she carries herself, the way she engages with life, has a deep and lasting effect on everyone lucky enough to be around her. But this compliment goes beyond just admiration for her enthusiasm or charisma. It's deeper than that. It's a recognition of the intangible qualities that make her irreplaceable. It's the way her positivity infuses a room with warmth, the way her energy lifts the spirits of those around her without her even trying. It's a rare gift, something that not everyone possesses, and by pointing it out, you're letting her know that these qualities aren't just noticed, they're valued. When you tell her this, you're showing her that you see and appreciate the depth of her essence, not just the surface-level traits that might be more easily observed. Now let's take a step back and look at this through the lens of Stoicism. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, often discussed how our actions and our presence in the world shape the experiences of those around us. They believe that we all have the ability to contribute to the greater harmony of life through our character and energy. When you tell her that she makes everything feel more exciting, you're acknowledging that she's living out this very principle. Her presence creates a ripple effect. Her enthusiasm, her spark, her ability to transform the mundane into something magical elevates the experience of everyone in her orbit. That's no small feat. Not everyone has that kind of influence. And that, my friend, is a rare and beautiful gift that deserves to be celebrated. So when you look her in the eyes and say, "You have this way of making everything feel more exciting," you're doing more than just delivering a compliment. You're creating a moment of genuine connection. You're telling her that her unique energy, her ability to ignite joy and excitement in the simplest moments, is something you treasure. And let me tell you, that kind of acknowledgement is unforgettable. It not only deepens your bond, but also affirms to her that she is valued for who she truly is. Someone who brings life, joy, and excitement into your world in a way that nobody else can. Here's the key. The way you deliver this compliment is just as important as the words themselves. If your words sound insincere or forced, they won't carry the same weight. To make your compliment truly impactful, you need to speak from the heart. Look her in the eyes, speak with confidence, and let your sincerity shine through. The more genuine you are, the more powerful your words will be. So, here's your challenge. Find a moment this week to give one of these compliments. But don't rush it. Wait for the right time, when it feels natural. When you see her eyes light up, you'll know you've hit the mark. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on content like this. I'll see you in the next one.